What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid Network news flash. Last night, timed for release with the Golden Globes, one of the major Hollywood award show for both film and television, HBO released a first look at all the big shows they've got coming up in 2019 on their official YouTube channel, featuring our first official looks at things like Game of Thrones final season, Barry season 2, Big Little Lies season 2, and of course Damon Lindelof's upcoming HBO adaptation of Watchmen. And it's only a 6-second clip, but even that 6-second clip is juicy. It's packed full of things that, when taken with the information we already knew about the show, paints a very interesting picture, but still leaves us with more questions than answers. The way I think about it is it's like looking at a puzzle, and we've got like maybe 10 or so pieces, but it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. The sequence opens with an interesting shot of a woman driving up to what looks like a mansion house. We know the show takes place in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so that explains the kind of low, flat land that we see with very few trees, but she's approached here by two police officers wearing yellow masks and wielding pump-action shotguns. And we're not exactly sure what to make of this here. We know the show is going to center around police officers, with nearly all of the cast members, the major cast members, from Regina King to Tim Blake Nelson to Don Johnson, potentially playing cops according to the original character descriptions that were released earlier last year. But why they're wearing masks is interesting, and the only thing that I can really think of, because originally when set photos revealed that they would be wearing yellow masks, I thought it was just going to be one or two of them. It might be a situation where the cops have to wear the masks because at this point in the year 2020 or 2025 or whenever this takes place, we know it's going to be a more modern setting. It may just be that it's unsafe to be a police officer and show your face wherever this takes place, which we know to be Tulsa. The next scene is arguably equally as interesting, as we see two new figures, both also wearing masks. One wearing a black or dark brown jacket with a gold latex mask, the other in a tracksuit with a red ski mask. And whether these are new heroes or other figures, we're not exactly sure. But it is kind of interesting to see they're not just going to be cops wearing masks. There are still people that go out there and potentially perform as vigilantes. But the other interesting thing to note in this shot is behind them, in the background, blurred out, we see two figures wearing identical uniforms. They look like cops to me because they have the same hats and the yellow masks as the people in the first shot. But we also see a man in a cowboy hat who we actually see in the very next shot in this clip. And in that scene, we see the man in the cowboy hat walking down a hallway in what looks to me to be a police station, and the hallway is flanked by cops, and all in yellow masks, which does confirm that I think this is just how police operate in whatever year this takes place in. The man in the cowboy hat seems to be an important figure. He's kind of saluting the cops as he walks down the hallway. So it'll be interesting to see, one, who's playing him out of that all-star cast that we know the show has, but two, what his relationship is to the police. But in the next scene, we see one of the two money shots of the trailer, and it is a doozy. We see the man himself, Jeremy Irons, who we know is playing Ozymandias, aka Adrian Veidt himself, and he says, "It's only just begun," or "We've only just begun," which is really interesting for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it's interesting because in that first shot, the first set photo that we got, the very first look that we ever got at the series, there was a newspaper stand that was holding a newspaper saying, "Veidt officially declared dead." So it's really interesting, and that raised some thoughts at that point, whether he was only officially declared dead because he was missing, or whether he had actually died, and that's what the series opened up with. But then Irons casting as Veidt threw more fuel onto that fire and added more speculation about what exactly Ozymandias' role in this show was going to be. And certainly, "It's only just begun" seems to suggest that he's still acting in the shadows, and he's still got some sort of nefarious scheme that he's up to. But the final shot of the trailer is really the other money shot, and arguably even bigger than that shot of Jeremy Irons as Veidt, because we see a man turn to face the camera wearing what looks to be a mask that's an homage to Rorschach. And I say that because the mask isn't moving, so it doesn't look like Rorschach, who we know died in the events of the original Watchmen, but it could be someone that's taking up the mask and the mantle in his honor. And the theory that I came up with after seeing this was, since we know this takes place in a future where Veidt's plan worked, his alien attack plan did result in world peace, at least for a time, and nobody found out about it, so Rorschach's plan failed. Him dropping off his journal didn't succeed in exposing the plan. Maybe someone has found his journal, or maybe it ended up just being a conspiracy theory, and this is one of the believers that takes up the mantle to honor Rorschach and expose Veidt for what he's really done. But let me know in the comment section down below what you make of this. Obviously, we've got way more questions than answers, and it's just a short teaser. But what do you think? Are you excited for the series? What do you hope to see? Do you hope to see any of the other original Watchmen? But that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw. Subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.